Monday, y'all, and welcome to another episode of FPP Live, a time I connect all things faith, purpose, and profit. Listen, you need all three if you're going to one, live as the highest and best version of who God created you to be, and number two, if you're going to start a business that's in alignment with how He crafted and created you to do or be in this world. I'm always excited to share with you every Monday live at 7 p.m. EST the tools you need to do that. So this week we're starting a new conversation, and it is, or a new series, I should say. It's called the Brilliance School Takeover. So the Brilliance School is something I created actually in 2020 when COVID came, and I still wanted to teach and share with you. And so really it's for those of you, let me just say this. And as you're coming in, I see people are coming in, say hello, tell me name, where you're from. If you have questions, those of you that are joining me live, please post them. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking at the comments, okay? So the reason I created the Brilliant School is because when over the last 2 decades almost. God, it's like, how old am I? As I've had the privilege to work with successful women. What I mean by that is you are already doing great in your 9 to 5. You may have the corner office, the title, the job you've always wanted, probably the list you made. Do you guys remember the list you made in your 20s? You're checking all the things off, and you feel like something is missing, and you really want to start a business. And can I tell you that there's no course that you can take, there's no academy you can go to until the Brilliant School, until everything I've created that can give you what you need on the next level. One of my favorite quotes, those of you that have been here with me, and yes, I'm going in already in this episode, it's the tools you've used on this level are not sufficient for your next. And you're moving from employee to entrepreneur. I don't care if you have a PhD. Again, I don't care if you have that title behind your name or the corner office. There are tools you need to acquire to shift how you live and breathe and have your being through your gift. The 5 areas I'm going to share during the Brand School are the areas, actually, this one this week is the area I see people fail in the absolute most. So, again, tell me hello. As my grandmother would say, don't walk in this house and not speak. Well, you're in my virtual house, you're in my studio today. So at least say, hey, girl, hey. Tell me where you are in the world. And again, if you have questions as I share, please post them, okay? So, what we're talking about today is dominating in your lane. Now, if you've been around me for a while, you hear me talk about dominating in your lane, but I want to make sure you understand what I mean by dominating in your lane. Some people might call it niche. I call it dominating in your name because niche is so overused. So, let me tell you, our foundational Bible verse is this for this conversation. First Peter 4:10 that says, as each one has received a gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. Now I'm going to read that again. It's 1 Peter 4:10. As each one has received a gift, all of us have received a gift. God gifted each of us uniquely at birth. That's your purpose. That's the thing that you're good at. You have a natural propensity for some things. Things come easy to you. It's because that's the way God wired you. Okay. Next thing it says is minister to one another. Now, I didn't write this definition down, but listen, if you go look in the dictionary, hey, Betty in Mobile, and hey, Pamela in Georgia, listen, if you go look up the word minister in the dictionary, you guys, matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up now on my phone while I'm here. Hold on. Because I'm telling you, these are things that we overlook. Let's see, dictionary. Actually, let me write ministry meaning. And I always say this, but I want to read it today. Ministry meaning. There, oops, it was there and then it went away. Okay, it says, hold on, sorry, let me go to my girl Webster or boy or whoever. I don't know if it's a man, a woman, whoever Master Webster is. The fourth definition here says a person or thing through which something is accomplished. Say that again. A person or thing through which something is accomplished. You realize God didn't expect all of us to accomplish what we do in church. Now, there are some people that are called to the pulpit. I'm not called to the pulpit. I'm called to the marketplace. Doesn't mean I don't do work in the pulpit. Doesn't mean I don't preach during church, but I'm clear that God crafted and created me to help you grow your purpose focused business, your brilliance in a way to bankroll it. Need y'all to get this. Okay. So my question to you, reading this Bible verse, minister it to one another. You realize your gift is the answer to somebody's need, desire, problem. They're looking for you. That's why dominating your lane is so important. Then here's what the part I want to break down. The last part of this Bible verse says, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. So, steward. Now, we hear stewardship all the time in church, right? Got to get 10%, tithe 10%, right? But I want you to understand what the word steward means. One appointed to supervise the provision and distribution of, one who actively directs affairs. So if God gave you a gift to minister to one another, what he's asking you to do is to supervise the provision of it and the distribution of it. Y'all get me? So when I'm talking dominating in your lane, let me also read to you the definition of a niche. Okay? I'm going in, y'all. If you have questions, because I'm going fast. Niche means denoting or relating to products or services that appeal to a small, specialized section of the population. You got to realize you are not everybody's answer. God did not create you to be in every single lane in the road. But so many people I see don't stop long enough to get clear on the lane they're meant to dominate in. It's like me playing football, and I think I'm the only person on the team. And so I'm going to be the quarterback, and I'm going to throw the ball to myself and run and catch it, and then I'm going to make a touchdown. No, it doesn't work like that. Right? Another definition here says it's a specialized segment of a larger market. I see so many people that don't really get clear that there is a group of people that need you. It's not all women. And there are people that will fight me and say, no, I'm meant to work with all women. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm meant to work with every family. No, you're not. And then sometimes you say a segmented population, but it's not the right population. Give you an example. I was meeting a woman, and anytime I coach anybody, I always do some kind of jumpstart call because I always want to make sure you're headed in the right direction. I'm on the phone with the woman, and she tells me that her ideal client is single moms. So as I start talking to her and asking her more and more questions, everything she's saying has nothing to do with single moms. Nothing to do with single moms. Everything she's saying has to do with technology. And so I said, so to make an even longer story short, instead of me going back and forth on the whole conversation, what we realize is she helps women entrepreneurs understand the technology they need to put in place. And if I go even deeper than that, because technology is vague. See, the more clear you can get, the more you can dominate in the lane. Those of you that have been around me, I always say confused mind doesn't buy. You can't dominate if you're confused. You can't dominate if other people are confused about who you are and what you do and who you be. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't care how many marketing classes you take, how many sales trainings you take, how you can hire marketing team and sales team, you can do all of that. If your lane isn't clear, you cannot dominate in it. This is why you hear me talk about this so much, because when I meet people and I get to coach them, like if I use another example, or one of my phenomenal, she's on my team now. I think she wouldn't mind if I said this, Yolanda Churchwell. When Yolanda came to me, she thought she was working with people starting up in business. And can I tell you that she hated it? She hated it because she had no business working with them. Her gift is systems. You don't have a system when you start. You don't. Her gift is up leveling your systems. But it took her really getting clear on the lane God created her to dominate in. And many of you are rushing so fast to get revenue terminology and revenue methodology that you skip this first part, which is the most important ingredient in your business. Especially when you've been an entrepreneur, you've been building somebody else's $1 billion brand, and now you're ready to take your intellectual property and build your own. You've got to get clear on the lane that you were created to dominate in. Listen, Airbnb, do you know why Airbnb is doing so well? Because they found a niche in the lodging industry that wasn't being done. But you don't see Airbnb trying to rent cars. You don't see Airbnb trying to rent airplanes. They're clear and uncompromising about what they do and how they do it. Another one that I love is Spotify. I love me some Spotify. Spotify came in and took over the music market. Oh, there was Apple Music already. But they started doing things in ways that made them dominate in that lane. Are you guys getting my point? Netflix too. Netflix too. Hey, Pat. Netflix did the same thing. They came in the industry and they dominated in it. So there are other people that do what you do, but you've got to be clear on what you do, the way you do it that makes it unique to you. Okay. So let's talk about three benefits of identifying and dominating in your lane. And yes, I got a couple gifts for you. So hang tight. You know, I always got gifts. So again, this is the Brilliance School. Week one is dominating in your lane. Now, the way I teach you guys, you need week one to get week two. You need week two to get week three. You need week three for four and four for five. Okay. And yes, we're going to talk about revenue. That's not till week five. But guess what? You need all these other weeks before you get to that. Okay. So, number one, the number one reason why you must dominate in your lane is it demonstrates your expertise. This is that thought leadership. This is what makes you literally the expert, the go to in your industry. Okay. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man, or I'm going to say a woman, because I got all women here with me tonight, I think, unless there's a fella here that doesn't have said hello. A man's gift, a woman's gift, makes room for her and brings her before great women, great people. It says men, but y'all know, right? A woman's gift makes room for her. But your gift can't make room for you if you don't even know what it is. It's like me telling you to meet me for lunch. Hey, Dr. Cheryl. It's like me telling you to meet me for lunch. And I say, I'll be at the restaurant. And I never tell you the restaurant. How do you meet me if you don't know? You can't. Right? So, how is your gift going to make room for you if you don't even know what room to show up in? Come on, somebody. So it's so important that you dominate in your lane. This is how you begin to be an expert. There are things that people call me about. Like if I'm gonna keep it all the way real, I give great relationship advice. I do. I've been married for 17 years. I've had a whole lot of bad relationships to know the good one that's here, right? But you'll never see me sell relationship coaching. Why? Because that's not what I'm called to do. I do that for my girlfriends. Even I started in this business working with teenage girls. I realized that God used that to grow my gift. But I'm clear I'm not called to teenage girls anymore. I'll volunteer every now and then and do some stuff for teenage girls, but I'm clear that's not my calling. So you won't see me advertising or doing any kind of programming for teenage girls. Again, unless it's a part of Give Back. And so I'm saying that to you because when you try to be everything to everyone, you're nothing to no one. So you become an expert when you laser in and get clear on what lane God has created you to dwell in. Okay. The second is it helps you stand out. In other words, it minimizes competition. And I like to call this like a magnet. So your brilliance is like a magnet. So if I had a magnet, I wish I had one in here. This just popped in my head as I'm talking. What happens is when I be who I be, there's a reason you're here. Many of you, I resonate for you. That's because I am who I am. And I'm being who I am unapologetically. So you get part Jesus, Nicole, you get part, corny. Sometimes I'm funny, sometimes I'm corny. You get one part ratchet, Nicole, because I do like ratchet music till I realize what they're saying. Then I'm like, oh, right? I should say I like the beat. I don't like what they're saying. So you get all of that blended in one woman. Some of you I'm too much for because I'm passionate and I get on fire and I start going in. And some of you love it. Do you know why you love it? Because you and I are aligned. Dare I say, because I'm assigned to you and you're assigned to me. Just like there's a group of people assigned to you. So when you try to copy other people's versions, listen, when you're somebody's second rate version, you're doing the same thing somebody else is doing, then wait a minute, one of us isn't necessary because God doesn't need two of Nicole Roberts Jones. He only needed one. And even twins don't do everything exactly like my husband's a twin. So I need you to understand that it literally helps you stand out. It automatically differentiates you from everybody else in your marketplace because you're doing you the way that only you will do it. One of the things that God began to tell me a couple years ago was that He wanted me to talk faith, purpose, profit. That already differentiates me. There are other people that talk what I talk, they do, but most people don't talk those three things together. Matter of fact, sometimes people go, "Ooh, Nicole, how can you say faith and profit in the same sentence?" Well, because God wants you to gain. Mhm. Which moves us to number three. But before I talk about number three, because it increases your profit. But let me finish number two. Right? and make sure I'm saying everything that I have here in my notes because I get excited sometimes. Now, listen. It also, when you talk about standing out and it talks about minimizing competition, I need you to get it also helps you focus. So when things are coming at you that are contrary to the thing you know you're called to do, you can turn them down. It also helps you be clear on who you are and who you are not. So when people call me to ask me to do things, like for instance, my master's degree is technically in nonprofit management. What God began to do was put me in atmospheres, in places that I learned entrepreneurship. You get the benefit of the 15 plus years that I have learned all of the skills and things I've learned, the thousands of women that I've had the opportunity to coach. You benefit from that. But my master's degree is technically nonprofit management. Matter of fact, it helps me. I always say it gives me that Jesus edge because Jesus met people where they are, not where he wanted them to be, not where they were supposed to be, where they were, which is a social work methodology. So I come from that place. So when I'm working with the business, they go, "Ooh, the way you said that is different." It's because I'm a social worker. Well, I'm gonna tell you all of that because when people call me for a nonprofit advice or to come on a nonprofit something or other, I say no because I know I'm not called to that. God used that platform to grow me. Y'all understand me? Because you can't dominate multiple lanes. Now, you will always hear me talk multiple streams of income, but all my income streams come from one playbook, just like all yours should as well. I can't be an image consultant and a marketing expert and a sales expert. Oh, and I remodel houses. And it's too much. Now, as you grow your brand, it gets bigger and bigger. Of course, you can diversify your portfolio. Of course, I'm not saying you can't. But when you're first starting out and people don't know you, a confused mind does not buy. hmm See, when you also get clear and you're focused and you're uncompromising, then it also allows you to focus in on all the ways you can serve people. Okay. Now, before I start saying number three, let me read Luke 2:49 here. And he said to them, this is Jesus talking, "Why did you seek me? Didn't you know that I must be about my father's business?" Now, this is what Jesus is saying to his mom and dad. They had been looking for him. He had been missing. Jesus was focused. He knew what he was doing. He was clear and uncompromising. It made him stand out. My question to you is, are you shifting with the wind? Do you start a business and then you stop because you feel like it's not working? Or maybe it's not that it's not working. Maybe it's that you're not clear. Maybe it's that you haven't focused in on the lane that God created you to dwell in. Listen, even if I'm an Olympic sprinter, if I run in other people's lanes and I win, I am disqualified. I learned this. Some of you guys have been on webinars. I've talked about Gwen Torrance, who won her Olympic race. She was the fastest woman alive in 1995. But when the judges watched her replay, she won running in somebody else's lane, which got her disqualified. Same thing that will happen for you. God wants you in one lane. The question is, do you know what that lane is? Jesus knew. He was clear. He wasn't shifting. He wasn't going to be moved. That's the same way you need to be about your gift. Once you discover and you're clear about it. Number three, it increases your profit. So, number one, it demonstrates expertise. Number two, it helps you stand out. It really minimizes competition because nobody can do what you do the way that you do it. There's only one you. There's only one Nicole Roberts Jones, right? When I got married, it's funny, my husband, so I would have been Nicole Jones. Now, if you Google Nicole Jones, there's so many Nicole Jones out there. There's other Nicole Roberts out there, but there's only one Nicole Roberts Jones, which is why I kept both names. And he was like, okay, I guess I'll let you do that. Not let, because y'all that know me, Nicole doesn't, nobody lets me do anything. But my point is, he didn't have a fit about it because he understood that I wanted to stand out because I'm cool, I'm clear that I'm called. I'm not saying I'm cool because clear and call was going to come out as cool. I'm clear that I'm called to do this work. I'm also clear about what I am and what I'm not. My question to you is, are you clear? And when you get clear, then what happens is you gain, which is that increase in profit. Many of you know that my foundational Bible verse from what I teach from is Genesis 1:28, that God said to the first man and woman, which he says to all of us. This is my directive God gave me years ago that I teach from. That God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion." So instead of, saying, "Have dominion," I say, "Dominate in your lane." So instead of saying have dominion, I say, dominate in your lane. So instead of saying have dominion, I say, dominate in your lane. So instead of saying have dominion, I say, dominate in your lane. So instead of saying have dominion, I say, dominate in your lane. So instead of saying have dominion, I say, dominate in your lane. So So think about what all those things are. Fruitful means producing good results. Multiply means to increase. So until you get clear on the lane you're in, you can't even profit. You cannot. So listen, those of you that need help, I got two gifts for you. Okay. The first gift, many of you have already heard about this gift. I am doing, and you know, the Bankroll Your Brains Intensive, but let me show you why this work in these 2 days. First of all, I feel like I took the years that it took me to learn all these systems and I put it in 2 days where I can walk you through the 4 areas you need to really have a revenue generating business. The first area you need is to dominate in your lane, but let me walk you through this, okay? So, yes, this is for you, whether you've been in business for years or you're just starting out, so that you can get the insight that you need to make multiple streams of income. Okay. So, this is what I teach you in those 2 days. This is my agenda more mastery of you, optimization, revenue, execution. So, each of our weeks, I'll walk you through another one today. I'm just going to talk to you about mastery of you. Okay. Now, this is why this is so important. So many people, this was me as well. Those of you that have heard my story, that I failed in my business for 17 years. I was an adjunct professor at not one, but actually, I had worked at three prestigious schools: USC, Boston University. Then I went to Boston College, and my business was still failing. Do you know why? Because I wasn't clear. You can't master what you aren't clear about. Okay. You've heard me say this. You cannot see the label from inside the jar. And every day that you wake up, you are inside the jar called you, right? And so this is why this is so important. I cannot say this enough. So the first day, we're going to get down to business and really work through your core message framework, which is the key to building empire from what you know. Okay. So in the 2 days, you're going to get coaching me. It's not a bunch of speakers. It's me coaching you. You get a workbook that we'll be working through. And you take the workbook home with you so you can implement everything I'm teaching you. Okay. Now, in addition to all of that, I'm going to recommend that you sign up for VIP. Why? Because many of you think you know your niche, you think you know your lane, and you don't. The Brilliance Accelerator was created just for you so that you get clear on what is your purpose. Why did God create you? What's the lane God wants for you to dominate in, and who's your ideal client in alignment with that? What's your unique serving position, and all the things that are going to make you stand out, so that we take that work you do, which, by the way, those of you that sign up for VIP, you start the Brilliance Accelerator right away. We take that work and then we build on it while we're together in those 2 days, so that you get clear on your purpose or your brilliance. You know, I say brilliance and purpose interchangeably. And so you have brilliant zone domination. That's the whole purpose of that VIP work. So in the VIP Brilliance Accelerator, you're going to take a Brilliance Framework assessment. That's going to give you a report and tell you how you're wired. Matter of fact, I then teach you how to use that report even in your career right now. I've seen so many people get raises while they're building their business alongside their 9 to 5 because of the assessment. And then from there, you have a 5 part methodology that walks you through everything you need to get clear on the lane that God created you to dominate in. Okay. See, many businesses fail because they don't have strategy around this. They have no clearly defined niche, which means they're not dominating in their lane or your lane. Right. And so, because of that, your business is not set up on a strong foundation. This is the foundation to everything you do in your business. And this is why, by the way, I created the Bankroll Your Brains Intensive. Because listen, when my business was failing, I didn't know where to go. I had a master's degree in social work and an accelerated MBA, and I was still failing. Teaching graduate school, by the way, at three prestigious universities, and still failing. So this is all the stuff that nobody told me that I wish I knew. Okay. So as you know, we are now running a special. Now, this is the value of it. I would never charge you this. Okay. Because all the insight in those 2 days that I walk you through, the strategy, the coaching I do live with you. By the way, my VIPers, we do a group call before you even get in the room because I want to make sure you're clear on your lane, right? So until Tuesday, September 5th, or until space is available, and people are buying tickets, y'all. So you'll see General's $497 and VIPs is $1197. You'll never, or two payments of $600. You'll never hire a coach at that great economic value. Okay, so that's your first gift. If you know, like you know, now's your time, and you're ready to get clear so that you can build a business the right way. September 29th and 30th is here in the DMV area. I rented a mansion. I have a chef coming. I'm so excited. Matter of fact, I had to go and find a larger mansion because, you know, Y'all was emailing and texting. I'm like, okay, let me get a bigger one. So we're on the water now. I'm so excited. So anyway, all right. So that's gift number one is your $100 off. Okay. Now, here's gift number two. Because so many of you think that, and I'm trying to see if you guys have questions. If you have questions as I'm talking, please, by all means, post them here. I'm looking. When you see me look to the sides, that means I'm looking for your questions. By the way, my goal is always to be here 30 minutes. So, because so many of you think that you're dominating in your lane and you're not, I have a second gift for you, which is what I'm calling a social media audit. Now, there's two parts of social media. One part is content and one part is positioning. I'm not going to audit your content. I'm auditing your positioning because your positioning is either saying you're dominating your lane or it's not. So for the first 10 people, all you've got to do and choose one. I'm not going to audit all your social media. Choose either your Facebook business page, your Instagram, or your LinkedIn. Choose one. Send me an inbox message here on Facebook and just send me your link with your profile. One of those three. Don't send me an inbox message saying, Nicole, I want to do Facebook. No, send me your Facebook link. Make it easy for me, okay? And then I'll do the audit. It'll be here in the Facebook group. I'll do video and walk you through. And the reason I'm doing this is I want you to really, really see where you're in deficit around your lane. Again, a confused mind doesn't buy. So even as you're posting your not your platform, your profile, that's the word I'm looking for, your profile in social media. If it's not clear there, when people come and find you, they're not following you. So again, if you want to be one of those 10, send me an inbox message. Again, it's either Facebook business page, your Instagram, or your LinkedIn. Not all three, choose one. Send me an inbox message here on Facebook with a link to your profile. Now, those of you that are watching the replay in YouTube, come on over to my Facebook page and send me an inbox message, okay? So that's our conversation for today. Dominate in your lane. Two gifts I have for you to join me for my BYB intensive, September 29th and 30th, so we can get clear. You can get strategy. I can coach you on, listen, if you're stuck and you don't even know if it's clear or not, then sign up for one of these opportunity for me to give you an audit. Again, I'm not looking at your content. I'm looking at your positioning. I love it. Dr. Cheryl's already texted me. I love it, girl. She's already sent it in. She's not playing. I love it. Right? I can see because I'm on my Facebook over here, right? So if you know, like, you want to be one of those 10, send it in so I can look at your positioning so that we can make sure you are dominating in the lane that God created you to dwell in. Okay. So three things you've got to do, or three reasons why it's important, is number one, it demonstrates expertise. It allows people to see that you are their answer. You're the expert that can help them. You become the go-to in their industry, which number two makes you stand out. It minimizes competition. And the only way you can do that is to be clear and focused. And then number three, it increases profit because when people see the value that you bring, when people see you as their answer, they are going to pay you. But if you are not able to position yourself as the answer, yeah, no one's paying you. Nope, sorry. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how long you've been in school. I don't care if you worked with Jesus, dare I say. If you can't position yourself the right way, no one's paying you. Because listen, I'm clear, I'm called. And again, my business failed for 17 years despite the fact that I was called. Why? Because I had no strategy. And prayer without works is dead. So praying about it and praying about it and praying about it is not strategy. It's not. That's being. And sometimes when God is silent, it's because he's waiting for you to act. So some of you, it's time for you to act. Send me that message. If you know, like, now's your time, claim your seat and join me September 29th and 30th so I can coach you in those 2 days. BYBintensive.com. Be unapologetic and claim your seat. All right. So with that, that's week one. Be looking. Now I'm traveling this week, so I'm going to do your audit. It'll be between hopefully this week and next Monday, or I might do it during next Monday's live. We'll see, depending on my schedule, because I'm traveling this week. All right. So with that said, it's always my honor and my privilege. Do me a favor. Share with me the one that valuable thing you got out of our conversation for today. Next week, week two, is the power of your story as we start looking at optimization. The power of your story, and why is your story even important? Why does it matter? All right. So I'll see you next week. Those of you that want that Facebook social media audit, because some of you guys won't want Facebook, right? Facebook business page, your IG, or your LinkedIn. Send me again The inbox, send me an inbox message here on Facebook. Don't send it on Instagram. Send it in one place, y'all. Don't try to overwhelm me and confuse me. Dr. Cheryl says she's staying in her lane. Listen, send me the link to the profile, inbox message here on Facebook so that I can bless you and give you an audit and so we can see if you are dominating in your lane. All right. So, with that said, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week for week 2 of the Brilliance School Takeover as we talk why the power of your story matters. Why? Why do people care? Why should you use the power of your story in your business? All right. I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.